Hello. Yeah. So good evening. So yesterday I just taken demo. That is just I discussed what is what. Then so the regular class will start from today. But before going to actual SQL server, you need some database fundamentals. Okay. We'll see that after that we'll start SQL server. So we'll start with what is database. Okay, then what is databases? So what is the definition of databases? A database is a organized collection of interrelated data. So database is a organized collection of interrelated data. Then but what is this is organized collection of interrelated data. So now, like yesterday also I discussed that why companies maintains databases. Companies maintains databases for storing data, for storing the data. Okay, so banks maintains databases for storing the customers' data, and telecom companies maintain databases. E-commerce companies like Amazon, Flipkart maintains databases. So every organization maintains databases for storing data, and this data must be interrelated. What is interrelated means? You take bank, a bank database should store data related to bank customers, bank transactions, loans taken by customer. So that is what customers, transactions, loans is what interrelated. Yes or no? You take university. Every university maintains database. What is stored in database is like data related to students, courses, faculty. What is student, course, faculty? Interrelated. So every database must store interrelated data. Okay, like a bank database doesn't store data related to university students. A university database doesn't store data related to bank customers. Okay, then so and also this data must be what? Organized. Data must be organized. Means what? Like you take, for example, you take a library. Okay, na? In libraries, how the books are organized by racks. They keep the books in racks. Suppose all books are kept in one rack. You take engineering college, all books are kept in one rack. Like computer science, electronics, electrical, mechanical, all books are in one rack. Then what is the problem is? Problem is finding the particular book is what? Difficult. Okay, time taking. Yes or no? So, but if they keep separate racks, one rack for computer science, one rack for electronics, one rack for electrical, then finding the book is what? Easy and faster. Okay, na? However, books are organized in library the same way data organized in database. But in libraries they use racks, but in database we use tables. In database we use what? Tables. So data organized in tables. Okay, then so you want to store customer data, then create one customer table and store the data. create one customer table, store the data. What is table means? Table contains rows and columns. So create the customer table, store the data. You want to store employees data, then create one employee table, store the data. Okay. Then what are the advantages? Advantages, finding the accessing the data is what? Easy and faster. You want to access customer data, just go to the customer table, access the data. You want to access employees data, go to employee table, access the data. Okay. So that is what here organized collection of interrelated data. Like suppose, for example, a university database stores data related to students, courses, faculty, etc. Okay. Then now this is what interrelated plus organized. Not only storing the data is important, the data should be properly organized. If the data is not properly organized, accessing is difficult. Okay. Then so but in olden days, okay na, olden days, that means some years back, companies maintain only one database. Okay. But nowadays companies are using two databases. Okay na, some years back every company used only one database, but nowadays companies are using two databases. So what are the types of databases? Okay. Then so every organization using maintaining two databases. One database is called OLTP database. Another database is called OLAP database. Okay. Then one is called OLTP, another one is called OLAP. What is OLTP stands for? Online what? Transaction processing. Okay na? Online transaction processing. What is OLAP stands for? Online analytical processing. So every company maintains two databases, OLTP, OLAP. Now okay, but then why they maintain two? What for this first one? What for the second one? What for OLTP? What for OLAP? So companies uses OLTP for storing day-to-day transactions. For storing what? Day-to-day transactions. Like you take bank. Bank maintains OLTP. Okay. You go to ATM. You do the transaction. When you do the transaction, where the transaction is recorded? The transaction is recorded in what? OLTP database. You do money withdrawal, money deposit, money transfer. All these transactions are recorded in OLTP. Every transaction is recorded in OLTP. Okay. Then so like Amazon maintains database. You go to Amazon, you buy the items, you purchase the item. Purchasing item is a transaction in Amazon. Where that is recorded? That is recorded in Amazon OLTP. Airtel maintains a OLTP. Okay. You recharge. When you recharge, that is recorded in what? OLTP. Airtel OLTP database. So every transactions are recorded in OLTP. Sometimes you go to bank, like bank, they say that boss, server is down, wait for 15 minutes, half an hour, like that. That means which server is down? Which server is down? bank OLTP server is down. Okay, na? Which server is down? OLTP server is down. When OLTP server is down, so they cannot store the transactions. That's why they cannot accept transactions from customers, because every transaction should be recorded in OLTP, but that is not, that is down, that is not working, that is down. So that's why, so they don't accept transactions from customer. Okay, then, so what for companies use OLAP? Okay, what for companies use OLAP? So companies use OLAP for analysis. For what? Analysis, for data analysis. If the company wants to analyze the data, they use OLAP. Understood? Then this is for data analysis. So like company banks wants to analyze last 5 years, last 10 years data they want to analyze. Okay, then compulsory they have to use what? OLAP database. Okay, na? This is for day-to-day operations. This is for analysis. Understood? Then, so like any company wants to analyze last 5 years, last 10 years data they want to analyze, then they use this one. Okay, na? Then, so actually, how you decide? Suppose I'll ask, who is the best player in cricket? Then how you answer that? Who is the best player in cricket? Can we decide that from current match? Can you decide who is the best player from current match? No. How can you decide this? If you know past 10, 15 matches record, if you know, then you can decide who is the best player. Yes or no? So that means here for analysis, what is required is history is required. For analysis, what is required? History is required. So this database maintains only current data, present data, but this database stores historical data. You got it? This database stores only current, present data, but this database stores what's that? Historical data, last 5 years, last 10 years data stored in OLTP. That's why we can do the analysis from OLTP. Sorry, OLAP. Understood? Then, so for analysis, what is required is history is required. But so this database stores current data, but this database stores historical data. Okay, na? Then, but if this database stores historical data, if OLTP stores historical data, your ATM transaction takes half an hour time. Understood? So if OLTP stores historical data, last 5 years, last 10 years data stored in OLTP, then your every ATM transaction takes what, sir? Half an hour time. That is the reason what they did, they separated one database for day-to-day operations, one database for analysis. Okay, na? Then if they maintain only one database for analysis for day-to-day operations, then customer transactions takes what? Half an hour time. You go to Amazon, if you place order, now, if you place order, for placing the order, it takes half an hour, 1 hour time. So that is the reason what they did, separated. Okay, then. So then OLTP database is used for storing day-to-day transactions, and OLAP database is used for analysis. And OLTP database is used for running business, and OLAP is used to analyze business. Okay, then. So OLTP database is used for running the business, and OLAP is used to analyze the business. Okay, now then. Now, okay. So what are the day-to-day operations on database? The day-to-day operations on database, what the day-to-day operations on database includes C or U D. Okay, na? Every day, what operations you perform on database? C or U D. Crude operations. Crude. What is C stands for? Create. R stands for read. U stands for update. D stands for delete. Create the data, read the data, update the data, delete the data. Okay, then. So this is the any database you take, the day-to-day operations are 4. In database, what you do? You create the data and you read the data from database and you update the data and you delete the data. Okay, then. So assume bank database. Okay, bank database. A new customer opens account. When customer opens account, then customer opens account. When customer opens account, his details are created. His details are created in database. Okay, next one. A customer check the balance. That is called reading. And customer deposits some amount. His balance is updated. And customer close account, delete. Okay, then. Now, university, like university. A new student joins, his details are created. And student and go to the website, you want to see the details, then reading. And student changes his group, update. And student completes course, his details are deleted. So any database you take, these are the day-to-day operations. But can you do these operations on database directly? Okay, na? Can we do this C or U D? Can we do these operations on database? This is the database. Can we do these operations on database? No, not possible. You can't directly work with database. You can't directly operate the database. Okay, na? Then. So this is TV. So we don't directly operate TV. We use what? Remote. Through remote, we operate the like TV. Similarly, we can't directly operate what database. We use one software. What we use? We use one software. What that software is called? What that software is? DBMS. Okay, na? What that software we use? DBMS. That means user work with database through. You work with database through a DBMS software. What is this? This is one. What is this is? Database. This is database. Database means storage. Okay, na? How you operate the storage? You operate the storage through some software. What that software is? DBMS. Okay, then. So you want to update. You give request to DBMS. DBMS will go to database, update the data. You want to delete. You give request to DBMS. DBMS will go to the database and delete the data. Okay. So what the next one is? Next one is what's it? DBMS. And so DBMS stands for Database Management System. Okay, then DBMS stands for Database Management System. Then, so what is this is? So like what is this DBMS? Then DBMS is a what? is a software used to, it's a software used to create and to manage what? Database. A software used to create and to manage the database. Okay, now then. So this is the system. In this computer, I want to create the database. I want to create a database for Naresh IT. Naresh IT Institute is there. For that institute, I want to create one database. They're asking for me, they're asking me to create the database. They want to store student data, course data, etc. So I want to create a database. To create the database in this system, first I need to install DBMS software. After installing DBMS software, then I can create what's the database. Sir, okay na? You want to develop website. To develop website, you need softwares or not? Yes. Similarly, to create the database also, you need a software. What that software is? DBMS. And you can also like create and to manage. Managing means managing the database means like managing the database means nothing but this only. What? Reading the data, updating the data, deleting the data. You want to create the database, you want to work with the database. To create and to work with the database, we need a software called DBMS. So you can say like DBMS is what? DBMS is an interface. Interface between user and database. Okay, na? It's an interface like so then it's like a what? Medium between user and database. Now then now, so just be clear what is database, what is DBMS is. Okay, na? Then one is storage, storing the data. One store the data, another one software to operate that memory, operate that storage. Now, what is the evolution of DBMS? Evolution. What is evolution means? What is evolution means? Evolution. What is evolution means? Evolution of, okay, telecommunications. Okay, na? Evolution of telecommunications. This is the evolution of telecommunication. Visible or not visible? Okay, na? Then this is the evolution of telecommunication. In olden days, what phone is used? Next what? Next what? Next what? Next what? Like this. Nowadays, what? Everyone using what? Smartphones. But in the beginning, they were not, smartphones were not there. This is the phone that is used in the beginning, some years back. This is called evolution of telecommunication. That means step-by-step development. Evolution means step-by-step development. Okay, then. So what is the evolution of DBMS? In very beginning, that means like in the very beginning, what systems were used for data storage? In the very beginning, what systems were used for data storage? In the beginning, what is the system? FMS. 1970s, okay, na? HDBMS. Next, NDBMS. 1980s, RDBMS. 1990s, ORDBMS. This is evolution of DBMS. Okay. Then what systems were used in the very beginning? Okay. In the very beginning, what storage systems are used? Next what, next what, next what, like this. So what is FMS stands for? FMS stands for File Management System. FMS stands for File Management System. What is HDBMS stands for? Hierarchical DBMS. Hierarchy. NDBMS stands for Network DBMS. RDBMS stands for Relational DBMS. ORDBMS stands for Object Relational DBMS. Okay, na? Then, so what is this is evolution of DBMS. In the very beginning, what systems were used for data storage? FMS. Next, what systems? HDBMS. Next, what? NDBMS. Next, RDBMS, ORDBMS, like this. Okay, then. Now, so now, like actually, nowadays, anyone is using this phone? That's that one, that first one. Nowadays, anyone using that phone? First one in that list, first one. Anyone using that phone now? No, because they are outdated. They are what, sir? Outdated. Yes or no? Okay, na? No one using it now. Similarly, these systems are outdated. Okay, na? What is outdated? FMS is outdated. HDBMS is outdated. NDBMS is outdated. No one using it. They were used long back, some years back, around 80s, 90s. They were used, but later no one using that. So they're outdated. Nobody will ask. Okay, na? Then. So nowadays companies are using these two. Okay, na? Companies are using these two. What companies are using? Relational and object relational. So no one using it. Like everyone uses relational and object relation. Okay, then. Now, so if I ask what are the types of DBMS means? Like DBMS, what are the types of DBMS? Just now I given the list. What that is? HDBMS, next NDBMS, next RDBMS, next ORDBMS. These are the types of DBMS. But these DBMS not there in the market then. So everyone using this one, relational and object relational. For your codes also, you need this too. Okay, then. Now, like we'll discuss what? We'll discuss what's it? RDBMS. We'll discuss RDBMS. Then, so already you know what is RDBMS stands for? Relational Database Management System. Okay, then. So RDBMS concepts are introduced by EF card. Is the one who introduced what's that? RDBMS concept. Like C language is introduced by one person. Okay, na? Java is introduced by one. Python is introduced by one person. Like RDBMS is introduced by EF card. So he's the one who introduced RDBMS. So then he's a mathematician. He used mathematical concept to introduce what? RDBMS. Next, then So what EF card? This EF card introduced 12 rules. This EF card introduced 12 rules, and the 12 rules are called what, sir? Card rules. Okay, na? Then for RDBMS, he introduced 12 rules. The 12 rules are called card rules. Okay. Then any database supports all the 12 rules is called perfect RDBMS. A database that supports all 12 rules is called perfect RDBMS. Like OOPS, you take OOPS. OOPS comes with some rules: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, like that. A language that supports all the OOPS concept is called perfect object-oriented programming language. Similarly, RDBMS comes with what? Some rules. He introduced some rules. If any software satisfies all the 12 rules, is called a perfect RDBMS. Okay. Then, so a database software that supports all 12 rules called perfect RDBMS. Oracle supports all rules. SQL Server supports all rules. Okay. And then, and what is said according to EF card. Okay. Then according to EF card, so in RDBMS, in database, data must be organized in what's it? Organized in tables, that is rows and columns. Okay. Then according to EF card, in database, data must be organized in tables, rows and columns. Then so like something like this. So you want to store data. You are using RDBMS. You are storing the data. Then once again, so here I am taking what's it? Here I am taking what? RDBMS. Okay, na? Then what we are using? DBMS. What type of DBMS? RDBMS. Okay, na? RDBMS. Now, if we use RDBMS and inside the database, how data organized? In the form of tables. You want to store customer data. Then you create one customer table, store the data. You want to store products data. Create one products table, store the data. So you want to store some employees data. Like, so if you want to store something in database, create table. In table, store the data. Okay, na? Then, so what is the structure we use? What structure we use for storing the data? Table structure. Table means rows and columns. Like suppose, for example, if at all you are using HDBMS, okay, you use HDBMS. Like then I'm using HDBMS. If you use HDBMS, then how data organized? Data organized something like this. Data organized in this format. What is this format? This format is called hierarchy, and this is called tree structure. What this is called? Tree structure. That means if we use HDBMS, what is the structure they use? Tree structure, hierarchy. If we use RDBMS, what structure we use? Tables. That means one DBMS to another DBMS. What is the difference? Organizing the data is what, sir? Different. In RDBMS, we use tables for organizing the data. In HDBMS, they use what, sir? Hierarchy, tree structure to organize the data. Okay, na? Now, nowadays, these systems are not in use. They are failed. They are not in use. Okay, now then. So now, like suppose, for example, 1 second, I want to store customer data. You store like this. You create what's it? Create table. Okay, na? Customer table. What the table contains? Rows and columns. So the table contains rows and columns. You store like this. Then, so for example, this is customer's data. Then what this is? Customer ID, customer name, customer city, ID, name, city. So customer ID is what, sir? 10. Name is something, Sachin. So city is Mumbai. So customer 11. Name is something. So HYD. And customer name is 12. Something. So Delhi, like this. Okay, na? Then. So this is how you store the data in database. Which database? Relational database. If it is hierarchical database, tree format, that is you leave that one. So focus on RDBMS only. Then table, rows and columns. Okay, na? What are these verticals are called? What are these verticals are called? Columns. These verticals are called columns. What they are called? They are called columns, or you can call it as fields, or you can call it as attributes. The different terms used. You can call it as field, column, attribute. So in this table, how many fields are there? How many fields are there? 3. One is customer ID, one is name, one is address. Okay, then. So, like, what is this horizontals are called? This horizontal. This horizontals are called rows. This horizontal is called row. Then, so this is called what? Row. Next, record. Next, tuple. Then, okay, na? What are the different terms used? But just follow one is enough. What are the different terms used? I am giving it. So columns, fields, attributes. That is one. Next, row, record, tuple. Okay. Then in this table, how many rows are there? How many rows are there? Not 4 rows, 3 rows. How many rows are there? 3. First one, don't consider this is a row. Don't consider this is a row. This contains what? Field names. This contains field names. Don't consider this is a row. How many rows are there in this table? 3 rows. This is 1 row. This is 1 row. This is 1 row. Total, how many rows are there? 3 rows. Okay. How many fields are there? 3 fields. And how many rows are there? 3 rows. So this is called rows. Record also. You can call it as records. How many records are there? 3 records. What is table contains? Table contains what, sir? Records. Okay. Then, so each row contains what? Each row. You take each row. Each row contains what? Values. Row contains values. Then what is this is? This is what? Value. Value for ID. Customer ID. And this is what? Value. Value for customer name. What this is? Value for customer address. Value for ID. Value for name. Value for address. So the row contains values, field values. This is value for customer ID, values for customer name, value for customer address. Okay. Then this is called table. Now, so what is the definition he has given? EF card. What he has said? According to EF card, database is what? Collection of tables. Database contains table. What is table contains? A table. A table equal to collection of rows and columns. A row equals to what? What is row contains? Collection of Collection of what, sir? Collection of values, na? Row contains what? Collection of values. And in customer table, one row contains one customer data. In customer table, one row contains one customer data. Like you take employee table. In employee table, one row contains one employee data. In student table, one row contains one student data. Okay, then. So, like row is collection of what, sir? Values. What values? Field values. Database contains tables. Table contains rows and columns. You take one row. A row contains values. Value for ID, value for name, value for address. Then next, column. What is column contains? Column contains what, sir? Collection of what? Values. This one. You take address column. What is city column contains? What is city column contains? Collection of values assigned to city field. Yes or no? What is this? This column contains collection of values assigned to name. This contains collection of values assigned to ID. Okay, then. So you take one column, collection of values belongs to one field or assigned to one field. Database contains tables. Table contains collection of rows and columns. Row contains collection of field values. A column contains collection of values assigned to one field. Okay, then. Understood now? Then. Assigned to one field. Okay, then. Then. So, for example, like suppose here, what's that? Then you go to in bank, like in bank. So there is a bank database. Bank database also maintains what's that? Customer table. In bank database, there is a customer table. In customer table, they store customer details. Okay, na? When you open account, your details are inserted into this table. When you open account, your details are inserted into this table. What details the bank stores? Bank stores what? For every customer, they give customer ID and they give customer name and customer address. Customer name, customer address, and customer WhatsApp, phone number, customer email ID, customer Aadhaar number, customer PAN number. Yes or no? So they store all these details: customer ID, name, address, phone, email ID, Aadhaar number, PAN number. So they store all these details. Okay. Next, you go to ATM. So in ATMs, you do the transaction. When you do the transaction, the details are stored in separate table. They maintain another table in bank database. So there is a table called what's that? Transactions. For every transaction, they store these details in separate table. What the table contains? Transaction ID. Sir, you see the slip after doing the transaction. You see the slip. In that slip, it will print what? Transaction ID. Yes or no? Transaction ID. Transaction type. Withdrawn, deposit, like this. Transaction what's that? Amount. Transaction date and time. At what date you have done the transaction? At what time you have done the transaction? Like that. Next one, what is your account number? Which customer is done the transaction? This is recorded in which table? Transaction table. After 1 month, you go to bank, you ask for, sir, I want March 1st to March 20th statement you want. You go to bank, you ask for March 1st to March 20th statement you want. Then what bank people will do? They go to this table, they get the transaction. Statement means what? Statement contains. What is statement contains? List of transactions. Yes or no? So then they go to this table, they get the transactions and they take the printout. The printout is given to customer. Okay, na? Then, so everything is maintained in what, sir? Everything is maintained in tables. The data is stored in tables. Okay, then next, one more thing, like suppose here every table must contain primary key. Every table must contain primary key to uniquely identify the records. Every table must contain primary key to uniquely identify the records. What this is? Okay, then so every table must contain primary key to uniquely identify. What this is? Like suppose, for example, then like so suppose, for example, you take organizations. Okay, na? Every company stores what, sir? Employees data. Every organization stores employees data. They are storing like this: name, job, salary. Okay, they're storing the name, job, salary. But if they store like this, the problem for companies accessing individual employees data is difficult. Isn't this? So they are storing employees data, but they are storing the data like this. If they store like this, what the problem is? Accessing individual employee data is what, sir? Difficult. Why? Because like you take name Vijay, but there may be number of employees with what? Same name. Yes or no? There may be number of employees with what? Same name. There may be number of employees with what, sir? Same job. There may be number of employees with same what, sir? Salary. Yes or no? Number of persons will be there with name Vijay. Number of persons will be there with name job clerk. Number of persons will be there with salary 30,000. Then what the problem is? Problem is identifying the employees is what? Difficult. Yes or no? That is the reason every company introduced one. What is that is called? Employee ID. What for employee ID? To uniquely identify the employees. If one ID is given to one employee, the same ID is not given to another employee. So using this employee ID, they can uniquely identify the employees or not? Yes. What is this employee ID is called? What this is called? Primary key. Okay, na? You take banks. In banks, how customers are uniquely identified? Okay, na? How customers are uniquely identified? Account number. By using account number, so they can uniquely identify the customers. Yes or no? Okay. So what is account number is called? Account number is called primary key. Okay, na? So you take government announce schemes for the different category of people. They announce different schemes to the people. Okay, na? To get the benefit, you have to register. You have to register for that scheme to get the benefits of that scheme. But what government is found? There is a huge corruption in this, because same person is registered 2 times, 3 times to get the benefits. To eradicate this, then what government is introduced? Aadhaar number. What government is introduced? Aadhaar number. What is Aadhaar number? Is primary key. What for that is? To uniquely identify the persons in India, Aadhaar number. Election department uses voter ID. Income tax department uses PAN number. So there are all examples for what's that? Primary keys. So example, what? Okay, bank uses account number. Companies uses employee ID. Next one, Indian government uses Aadhaar number. Income tax department uses PAN number. Election department uses voter ID. So all these are examples for primary key, but purpose is to uniquely identify. Okay, na? Then so then this is the like what examples for primary keys. What is according to RDBMS? When table is there, table must contain primary key. If there is no primary key in the table, what the problem is? Accessing data is difficult. Accessing data is difficult. Okay, then. So next, what are the RDBMS features? Other features of RDBMS. Okay, what are the RDBMS features? One is then one is easy to what? Easy to access and manipulate data. Easy to access the data, manipulate the data. We'll discuss how. Okay, na? Next one. Less what's it? Redundancy. Less redundancy. Redundancy means what's it? Duplication of data. Next one. What is RDBMS provides what? More security. Easy to access, redundancy is less, more security. Next, and RDBMS guarantees data quality. Data quality is guaranteed. Okay, na? Data quality is guaranteed. Next, and supports data sharing. 6.1 supports transactions like that. So these are the what other features of RDBMS. Apart from what? Tables, rows, columns, primary key. Apart from that, what are the other features of RDBMS? Easy to access, redundancy will be less, security will be more, and guarantees data quality. Quality is guaranteed, sharing is possible, transactions possible. Okay, then okay. So but sir, old before RDBMS. Before RDBMS means go to this one. What? FMS, HDBMS, NDBMS. You want to access the data. You have to write a big program. If you want to access the data, you have to write what, sir? A big program. Okay, na? That means you want to update the data. Okay, you want to update the data. To update the data, you have to write a big program. You want to delete the data, you have to write a big program. That means you have to be expert in programming to work with database before RDBMS. But when RDBMS is introduced, you want to access the data. Submit select command. There is a command called select command. Submit select command. You want to update the data. Submit update command. You want to delete the data. Submit delete command. So what is introduced here? Commands. That means you don't need to write what's that? Programs. Okay, na? Without writing the programs, you can work with database. Okay, then. So that means, so even if you are not expert in programming, but still you can work with database. But earlier you have to be expert in programming to work with database. That's why here I said what? Easy to access. Easy to access. Next year, redundancy will be less. Redundancy will be less. Duplication of data will be less. But earlier, the same data is repeated in multiple locations. The same data is repeated in what, sir? Multiple locations. Okay, na? Then, so if you want example, like you want example, if you want example, then, so like you take, for example, I'm taking 3 departments. Okay, na? What this department is? This is home loans department. This is car loans department. This is gold loans department. Okay. There is a bank. That bank is having 3 departments. A customer is taken home loan. When customer taken home loan, his details are stored in this department. What is his account number, his name, his address, like that. So the same customer is also taken car loan. His details are also repeated in car loans department. His account number, his name, his address. And he's also taken gold loan. His details are also stored in gold loans. That means same customer details are repeated in multiple locations. What this is called? What this is called? Redundancy. Repetition of data. Duplication of data. What is the problem with redundancy? Memory wastage. Not one customer, thousands of customers taken all the 3 loans. Thousands of customer data is repeated or not? Yes. So what is the problem with redundancy is memory wastage. But when it comes to RDBMS, okay, na? When it comes to RDBMS, in RDBMS, this is database. Okay, na? This is the database. Then, and what is this is home loans department, car loans department, and gold loans department. So all these departments are connected to database. So here customer details are stored in how many locations? Customer details are stored in only one location, not all the locations. So customer details are stored here. Then his account number, his name, his address. Then home loans department can access this data. Car loans department can access the data. All the departments can access this data. So this is redundancy is what, sir? Less. Redundancy is less. And security is what? More. Not everyone can access what? Database. Only authorized people can access database. Like suppose you want to access SQL Server database. You want to access SQL Server database. To access SQL Server database, compulsory you have to provide what, sir? You have to provide login and password. Without giving the login and password, you cannot access what? Database. Like, so you want to access Oracle database. To access Oracle database, what it is asking? Username and password. So without giving the user ID and password, you cannot access what? Database. So database is having what? More security. Not everyone can access. Only authorized people can access the database. Okay, na? Then you see that what it is asking? It is asking what, sir? Login and password. Asking the login and password. Okay, then. Now, next guarantees what? Data quality. Guarantees data quality means like quality is guaranteed. What is this quality is guaranteed means? Like you take, for example, employee. So there is a table, employee table, employee ID, employee name, employee salary. ID is 100, name is what, sir? A, salary is what? 5,000. Okay, na? Then, so ID is 100, name is blank, salary is minus 2,000. Then tell me, this data is correct, valid, invalid? This is invalid. This ID is already given to one employee. Same ID should not be given to another employee. And name should not be blank. And salary should not be negative. Salary should be always positive. This is invalid. That means in this database, in this table, quality is not there. Quality is not there. So if it contains invalid data, quality is not there. If there is no invalid data, quality is there. Understood? Then RDBMS guarantees what? Data quality means you cannot store what's sir? Invalid data. Even if you try to store invalid data, it will not accept. You understood that? So even if you try to store invalid data, it will not accept. It will store only valid data. It allows only valid data. It stores only valid data. It will not store invalid data. So then next, data sharing is possible. That means multiple users can access what, sir? Multiple users can share the same data, access the database at the same time. Sharing is possible. Okay, na? Then multiple users can access the same database at the same time. Okay, then so you connect to IRCTC, like you can book the ticket for same train at the same time or not? Yes or no? Yes. So because sharing is possible. Okay, na? Then you go to Book My Show, you can book the ticket for same movie, same theater at the same time. Number of customers, yes, because sharing is possible, because it is it uses what, sir? Book My Show uses RDBMS. IRCTC uses what? IRCTC maintains database now. What the database is? RDBMS. Book My Show uses what? RDBMS. So that's why sharing is possible. And transactions also possible. You can do like transactions like what? Sir, in IRCTC booking the ticket, that is a transaction. Yes or no? Canceling the ticket, that is also a transaction. Everything is a transaction. So that supported. Okay, then easy to access. Why it is easy to access? Because here we don't write programs, we write commands. Even if you are not expert in programming, you can work with database. Redundancy is what? Less. So data is not stored in multiple locations, data stored in single location. So next, security is more. Only authorized people can access database. Next one, guarantees data quality. So it stores only valid data, it allows only valid data. It will not allow invalid data. And multiple users can access same database at the same time. And supports transactions like withdrawal, deposits, like that, money transfer. Then that's all. Okay. So what are these? These are all RDBMS features. RDBMS features. Okay. Then one second. What are the RDBMS softwares? What are the RDBMS softwares? Okay, na? Then, sir, actually, see, you know, oops Java. What is oops? What is Java? Oops is theoretical concept. Java is a language implemented the features of oops. Oops is the theory. Java is a language implemented the features of oops. RDBMS is what? Theory. RDBMS is theoretical concept. What is the theoretical concept? Data must be organized in tables, rows and columns. Every table must contain primary key, provides security, like that. Yes or no? That is theory, theoretical concept. What are the softwares implemented the features of RDBMS? Okay, na? What are the softwares implemented the features of RDBMS? One is what, sir? SQL Server. Another one, Oracle. Another one, DB2. Another one, MySQL. Another one, PostgreSQL. There are number of. Okay, then SQLite. Okay, na? Maria, like DB, like that. There are number of there. RDS. Now tell me what is RDBMS, what is SQL Server? What is RDBMS, what is SQL Server? What is RDBMS, what is SQL Server? RDBMS is what? Theoretical concept. SQL Server is a what? A software developed on RDBMS concept. For anything, there will be some theoretical concept. Yes or no? They develop that on theory. Yes. Okay, now? Then rocket is there. Like what? They develop that on what? Some theoretical concept, physics, something. Yes or no? They use something. So similarly, so SQL Server is a software that is implemented features of RDBMS. Okay, na? Then so they are from different companies. They are from what, sir? Different companies. So who are the competitors for SQL Server? Who are the competitors for SQL Server means? Oracle is competitor, DB2, MySQL, all these are what, sir? Competitors. Oracle, SQL Server competitors. Okay, then so they are from different companies. What is SQL Server is from? Sorry, SQL Server is from Microsoft. Oracle is from Oracle Corp. DB2 is from IBM. MySQL is also from Oracle Corp. PostgreSQL is from PostgreSQL Forum. Okay, na? Then company name is also this. Okay. Then so all these are belongs to one family. What is that family? RDBMS family. RDBMS family. Now tell me what for SQL Server is used. Like if I ask what for SQL Server is used, then you question what for RDBMS is used. Okay, na? Then tell me, sir, what for SQL Server is used? What for SQL Server is used? Sir, instead of RDBMS, can I write SQL Server here? Can I write SQL Server here? Yes or no? What is this is? This is database. Now SQL Server is used for what? Okay, na? Sir, here in the beginning, 1 second. Here in the beginning, here what I have written? In the very first, I written what, sir? DBMS. Later I written RDBMS. Later I have written what? SQL Server. SQL Server. Then confused? First I written what? DBMS. Next I written RDBMS. Next I written SQL Server. Okay, na? So DBMS used to maintain the database. DBMS is used to manage the database. Which DBMS is used? DBMS are different types. RDBMS. Which RDBMS is used? SQL Server. Okay, then. So simple to understand. Like every day I'll come to Naresh IT by using vehicle. Okay, na? I'll come to Naresh IT by using vehicle. Then which vehicle? I'll say two-wheeler. Okay, na? Two-wheeler. Which two-wheeler? Suppose Honda Activa. Honda Activa. That's all. Okay, na? I use a vehicle to reach to Naresh IT. Which vehicle? Two-wheeler. Which two-wheeler? Honda Activa. This is what, sir? DBMS. What is this is? RDBMS. This is SQL Server. Okay, na? Then. So, okay, but then one is left, like one is left. What is that is? One is left. What is that is? RDBMS. We'll discuss in the next class. Okay, na? డిబిఏనా? డిబిఏ కవర్ కాదు, ఫుల్ నీకు బేసిక్స్ కవర్ అయితే, బేసిక్స్ కవర్ అయితే ఇన్డెప్త్ కవర్ కాదు. మీకు డిబిఏ ఇన్డెప్త్ కావాలంటే మీరు సపరేట్గా జాయిన్ కావాలి. ఓకేనా? ఇది ఏంటంటే డెవలపర్ కోర్స్. ఇది పిఎల్ఎస్క్యూల్ ఉంటుంది, అది ఒరాకిల్, అది ఎస్క్యూఎల్ పిఎల్ఎస్క్యూల్ ఇక్కడ కూడా ఉంటుంది. ఇక్కడ టీఎస్క్యూఎల్ అంటాం. ఎస్, కవర్ అవుతుంది, అది కవర్ అవుతుంది. ఓకేనా? డెవలప్మెంట్ మీకు 100% కవర్ అవుతుంది. ప్లస్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లెవెల్ యూ కెన్ పుట్ 3+ ఆల్సో, నో ప్రాబ్లం. దట్ గ్యారంటీ ఐ కెన్ గివ్. బట్ డిబిఏ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ అంటే మీకు బేసిక్స్ కవర్ అవుతుంది. ఎస్. స్టోరేజ్ ఏంటండి? అంతే. మీకు ఇన్డెప్త్ డిబిఏ కావాలి అంటే దెన్ సపరేట్లీ యూ హావ్ టు జాయిన్ ఫర్ ఎస్క్యూఎల్ సర్వర్ డిబిఏ, బట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ దేర్ ఇన్ నరేష్ ఐటీ. టైప్స్ SQL. Yes. No. SQL is one of the RDBMS. Two-wheeler is there. Number of two-wheelers are there. Owned active is one of the two-wheeler. Like that. SQL server is one of the RDBMS. OS, you know OS? OS, operating system. What are the various operating? Windows, Linux, Mac, Apple, they're all OS. Okay, na? OS is what? High level. What are the like implemented the OS means Windows is implemented OS, Linux is implemented OS, like that. RDBMS is theory, boss. SQL server is practical. Okay, na? డిబిఏ నీకు కావాలా? నేను చెప్తాను. ఓకేనా? ఎస్. నీకు డిబిఏ కావాలా? డిబిఏ కావాలా నీకు? బస్ ఇది మరి గ్రూప్, ఇది ఈ గ్రూప్లోకి యాడ్ చేయాలి నేను. Hmm? 9866 562 703. మైనర్ డిఫరెన్స్ అంతే. ఇప్పుడు మీ ఫోను నా ఫోన్ ఉంటుంది, సేమ్ ఉంటాయి ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆల్. ఓకేనా? సమ్ డిఫరెన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి, మైనర్ డిఫరెన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకేనా? ఇది కూడా అంతే, ఇట్లే ఉండదు. అవన్నీ యూజ్లెస్, అవన్నీ ఆ డిఫరెన్సెస్ అవసరం లేదు. ఓకేనా? జియోలో ఉన్నా ఎట్లున్నా మనం కమాండ్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం, సేమ్ కమాండ్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, నేర్చుకుంటే బెటర్. ఫస్ట్ అయితే ఇది లేని ఎస్క్యూఎల్ సర్వర్, పవర్ బిఐ, నీకే ఒక ఐడియా వస్తుంది. ఓకేనా? దాని తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ చూడొచ్చు. పవర్ బిఐ చూద్దాం. ఓకేనా? చెప్తా. ఆ, ఆ, అవసరం లేదు. అవును. ఓకేనా. ఇప్పుడు ఏమైనా బేసిక్స్ కావాలంటే ఆ బీబీఏ ఫ్యాకల్టీ చెప్పేస్తారు మీకు. ఉమ్, అదే అదే నీకు బేసిక్స్ అని ఇచ్చేస్తాడు. దీనికి కావాల్సిన బేసిక్స్ ఏమైతే ఉంటాయో, ఓకేనా, ఆ బేసిక్స్ నీకు అని ఇచ్చేస్తాడు. నో ప్రాబ్లం. బీబీఐ ఇక్కడ లేదు అసలు. ప్లస్ చెప్పు. నేను చెప్తాను ఇది. ఓకేనా. ఎస్, చేయొచ్చేమో, అడుగుదాం అది. అడుగుదాం. ఉమ్, ఆ, 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 అవును. మార్నింగ్ ఒరాకిల్ ఉంది 7:30కి. ఎస్. అంటే ఇదే ఉంటుంది అక్కడ కూడా. ఒక పార్ట్ వరకు సేమ్, తర్వాత నుంచి చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. పిఎల్ఎస్క్యూఎల్. ఎస్. కోడింగ్ ఉంటుంది, పిఎల్ఎస్క్యూలో ఉంటుంది కోడింగ్. ఎస్. 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 మార్నింగ్ 7:30 AM. ఓకేనా. ఒరాకిల్లో రెండు లాంగ్వేజ్ ఉంటాయి, ఎస్క్యూఎల్, పిఎల్ఎస్క్యూఎల్. ఇక్కడ కూడా ఎస్క్యూఎల్ సర్వర్లో రెండు ఉంటాయి, ఎస్క్యూఎల్, టిఎస్క్యూఎల్. అట్లనే అక్కడ కూడా రెండు. ఓకేనా. ఇప్పుడు మీరు జావానా. ఓకే. దాని రండి, ఒరాకిల్కి రండి. ఓకేనా. మీ కాలేజీలో ఏది ఉంటుందో అది నేర్చుకో. కాలేజీలో ఏముంది? డేటాబేస్ ఉంది. ఒరాకిల్ ఉందా? అదే ఒరాకిల్లో ఎస్క్యూఎల్ అది. ఓకేనా. ఆ? అదే ఒరాకిల్లో ఎస్క్యూఎల్, ఒరాకిల్లో కూడా ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ ఎస్క్యూఎల్ మీకు ఉన్నది, దానికి రండి. ఇక్కడే. ఆ? అది మార్నింగ్ 7:30 ఒరాకిల్. ఇది ఎస్క్యూఎల్ సర్వర్ క్లాస్. ఇది వేరు, అది వేరు. ఆ, ఉమ్. ఆ క్లాస్ వేరు, ఈ క్లాస్ వేరు బాస్. సారీ. So for class notes, downloading class notes, they will create a Google Classroom. I'll add the notes one, but when they create the Google Classroom, just after 2 or 3 days, once this registrations are completed, they create the Google Classroom, and you will be added to that Google Classroom. Who completed the registrations, they will be added to the Google Classroom. From there, you can download the notes. Okay, now then. So fees, what is the fees? Like duration? Duration I can give 45 days to another 1 week to 10 days, may be extended. So fees, they will give the details. Naresh ID with next 1 or 2 days, they will give the details, because they are demo classes now. You can attend without paying the fee. But once these demos are completed, they give the fee details. Okay, guys. Then. Okay, then. Okay. Bye. See you tomorrow. So actually, your settings are like that. Then. So even if you talk, I can't hear, because that mic settings are like that. So then, so that is the reason, like what you have to use, you have to use chat box. I'll ask them to change this, like if it is possible. Okay. Okay, then. Okay, then. Bye. See you. See you tomorrow. Huh? Only happen. 5. Okay.